Me in the chat, taking on the fight. Windows computer issues, we gonna make it right. Got that brilliant tech advice, 6-day a week. Yeah, we gonna help solve it all. No need to ignite.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Alice. And turn on speaker bot. So you missed the whole thing that I said at the beginning, July 3rd, 2024, on a Wednesday. And I was hollering at the other Dougs for starting the show when I wasn't even at the desk. But actually, I had to go get a bottle. I shouldn't be muted now. I'm still seeing people saying no audio, but that's because of the delay. What do we call it? Latency. Alice still saying I'm on mute. Well, my indication is I'm coming through. Let's see. Brian says okay now. He's the first one to say okay now. Gee, that seemed like a pretty long delay before you hoid me. Let's see. I'm gonna mute that thing. So my monitoring panel hasn't even come live yet. My other one is live. But this one's always late to the game. This one's always late. Yeah, there it is. And volume is okay according to the audio graphic indicator. Lights, ignition, fire, whatever. Fire me. Yeah, let's fire Doug. The rest of us Dougs can do the show from now on. I'm going to start out. I saw Ken Stout put something in chat about that gift membership that I received to his channel from Tony Wallow. Tony Wallow, amazing what he's doing on Ken Stout's channel with gifting memberships. Tony, if you need it, I think I can find a good therapist in the area to help you get over that addiction if you need help with it. No, just kidding. Hello, Alice, John Williams. Just waking up, and Ken Stout says, yes, you are gifted a membership by Tony Wallow. Yes, it verifies what you and I suspected, that you do not have to be described to get a membership, but I have more information. I sent Ken an email last night before his show from my YouTube email address, and I'm going to go bring that up now because I did some more poking around in that this morning and found some other stuff of interest. Now let's see, is this okay to show? Okay to show, yeah, because these are email addresses that that have already been made public to y'all. So I sent him this saying this is the email that I received. So I want to come into this email that I received saying you were gifted a channel membership. Welcome to Ken Stout Live's community. And that's a phony play button. It's not a link. But there was some extra information here that that, as far as I know, we haven't discussed yet. Congrats, you were gifted a channel membership. You received Ken Stout Live membership purchased by another fan. So this email doesn't tell me who purchased it, but I did see that in Ken's chat last night, where in the chat you see who was giving the gift, but that's not included in the email. For 1 month, you'll have access to all the special perks and benefits of Homie membership. Your membership expires August 2nd, non-recurring. You're receiving this gift because you opted in to receive memberships previously and may opt out or contact support with questions. Now, what I found of interest was what's on this Learn More tab. This was some additional information. Channel memberships let you create a creator's channel membership program through monthly payments, get exclusive perks, may include badges. If you're one of the available countries, you can yada, yada, yada. Yeah, we knew all of that. Then gift memberships. There's a little bit extra information here. Gift memberships let the creator or viewers, let's see if I can make this bigger. Let the creator or viewers buy the opportunity for others to access the perks of a channel membership for 1 month. Viewers must opt in. Remember that, because there's going to be a contradiction to that in a moment. Viewers must opt in to be eligible for gifted memberships from a channel. Once you opt in, you're eligible to receive gift memberships from eligible channels that you've interacted with recently. So it does appear that they do take into account how much a viewer has been interacting with the channel. We know that myyahoo.com has only interacted with this channel once. Well, I actually I didn't even watch a whole video using that account. What I did do is I asked to receive gifted memberships. So that probably bumped me up maybe higher than somebody who watched a video on his channel maybe 6 months ago. But somebody who's watching his videos occasionally, maybe once in a while, 2 or 3 times a month, he live streams every day, 2 or 3 times a month, maybe they bubble up higher in the gift receiving than somebody else, even if they haven't been subscribed. Because we do know that you don't have to be subscribed. Now here, if you've opted in to allow gift memberships from a specific channel in the past, you may need to opt in globally. What? Opt in globally to be eligible for gift memberships on other channels. So this sentence started leading you down one path, and then it takes an abrupt turn, goes a different way, because sounds like if you've opted to allow gift memberships from a specific channel in the past, maybe you have to go back and re-opt in. But no, that's not what they're talking about. You may need to opt in globally to be eligible for gift memberships on other channels. No, you go to those other channels and opt in, right? But this gives a hint that there is a way to opt in globally. I think that is accidentally obsolete information. I'm sure, and I've mentioned it before, I'm sure there used to be a way to opt in globally, because I'm pretty sure that I did it. But I've never seen any other gift memberships come to me. I'm suspecting this is left there from the past. I watched through this video, and I did some Google searching for opt-in globally, and I found multiple places where they say you have to opt in to gift memberships on a specific channel, on each channel that you want to receive gift membership. So I think that is obsolete. Now, I suspect that it may have been the case in the past where you could opt in globally, and Google Analytics, they use them on their side, right? They didn't create Google Analytics for us, the creators. They created it for Google, and they said, hey, we can let content creators use this tool in certain ways. But on Google's side, you can bet your bottom dollar they use analytics themselves. They probably found that when people opted in globally, they would receive gift memberships for channels that then they never go do anything with it. So their analytics would say, okay, this is not working out very well, let's turn that off. And they neglected to change this here. I'm guessing, I'm suspecting. All right, that's all I have to talk about on membership. No, one other thing on memberships. In this video right here, in fact, I don't know if this link is specifically me, so I don't know if this will work for you in chat, but let me try giving you the link to this page regarding gifted memberships. So put in that link. It didn't exceed, did it? It didn't exceed the length it looked like. So when you click on that, does that work for you all? Can you get to that? Because that'll give you an easy, convenient way to see that movie that video. But something they said in there that was really interesting is they said that for gifting to be available on a channel, if a channel has different level of memberships, it will default to the highest membership value up to $5. They also said in there that if your memberships cost more than $5, they implied this. It wasn't real clear. They implied this. If your memberships cost $10 and you don't have a level below $5, then gifting is not going to be available on your channel. People can't buy gifts. I thought that's weird. Why not let people buy $10 per membership gifts if they want to? Then there's the other piece that the content creator has to allow gifting. I suspect, I haven't gone back and checked, but I think if I remember right, I think Carrie Holzman's memberships are $9.99 or $10, somewhere around there, which means that would prevent gifting from being available. But even if it was available, I suspect Carrie Holzman would have turned that off or disabled that, because he has been very upfront that a reason why he turned on memberships is that he wants it to be a method to make sure there's only on his membership videos, there's only people there that are actually supporting him, so that he has a more relaxed experience and doesn't have the troublemakers. Troublemakers that don't want to pay the money would certainly turn on to allow gifts for themselves, right? No, we don't want them to come in to his membership. Josh Kinder is saying $10, so I think he's saying that it's $10 for Carrie Holzman. Then, there was some other stuff in this video that was, I think, new or clarifying and useful, and it had some other links of other videos. So anyway, there's more information there, but it does appear global opting in to gifting no longer a thing. Keith says link works for me. It works, Josh. Okay, good. Link okay. It says, do you want to leave YouTube? I think it'll still open in another panel. Let's see, if you right click on it, open link in a new tab. If you just left click on it, well, it opened in a new tab for me without asking if I want to leave YouTube. Your mileage may vary on that point about leaving YouTube. SpeakerBot, is not SpeakerBot working? Should be working. I don't remember hearing anything. Let's see if I come over here and do a Control F exclamation mark. Did anybody try to do something? 18 of them. I checked before starting the show to see if it was signed into the account, because that's usually I'll use this to cover up that mirror. Let's see if it lost YouTube. No, it's still connected. Why would not it be working? Do I have the action cues on? Oh, do I have the action cues on hold? Let's do this. Commands there. Now let's see if that fixed SpeakerBot. Here's action cues, action history. So this shows all the things that people have tried doing. Is it working now? There's Zavine Manor with an exclamation mark Y, but I haven't heard it. I still have not heard it. Let's see, cues. Paused? No. John Williams did an exclamation mark D, hello. I did not hear it. Is this thing on? V says no. What else is missing? Try that button. That shouldn't have any impact. Why? Let's see if I do. Now let's do a let's test a random test trigger. Does that work? Yeah, there's Princess. Oh, then how about if I try an exclamation mark D? Hi. Got nothing, but did it come up in action cues, action history? Random at 9:14 came up, but not that chat. let's see, chat message all would be here. Speaker bot is, maybe there's I'll relaunch speaker bot. Now let's keep that mirror covered. Come back over to this monitor. Here's speaker bot. I'm going to give it a few more seconds. Double click there because StreamerBot is working. The commands are working, but SpeakerBot seems to not be working. Now, if I come over here and do a test of yes.
Yes, affirmative.
Okay, that worked. Now, when you people type in a command, does it work? You people. Doesn't that sound rude? Can you test a voice from within and not on YouTube? Yeah, by doing that test that you just saw me do. Selden did an exclamation mark N, and I don't see that. So SpeakerBot worked, but when you did a, let's see, there's a yes. That's the one I did. Selden Ball says exclamation mark N. So go look at exclamation mark N. That is called negative. Negatory. Go to the commands. Negative. Look at the detail on it. It is checkmarked for YouTubers. Oh, come on. Criminy Christmas. What is the problem? All right, well, let's close and restart StreamerBot. How many times have we seen shut it down and restart it? Stop trying to fix it before restarting it. Josh thinks he broke it. I got some stuff about my about that BIOS update to report and discuss about the things that seemed weird yesterday. So I'm relaunching it now. I just did a double click there. Savi Manor says, return to Stone Age. We don't need no speaker bot. Yeah, I saw Ken Stout last night without having to go through a live stream without speaker bot, and he said he actually missed it. At one point in time, I remember him saying, I'll never do speaker bot. I think he said that. If I think he said that, does that mean I really remember it? No, probably not. Oh, look at there. It's trying to connect. It's going to fail. So I'm going to turn off the auto connect. Connecting was the problem, even though it told us it was connected. It lied. Computers do lie. Softwares do lie. Sometimes they sit, sometimes they stand. Most of the time they're lying. So I just relaunched it again after removing that check mark so that now I should be able to reconnect. So then I go to platforms, YouTube, and account. Click the auto connect. Go sign in with Google. I've done this a few times. I think I always wound up concluding it was not revealing anything. So I'm going to try going through it. I'm going to use the brand account. Sign into StreamerBot. So how could I have tested that? Because a lot of the stuff was working. And I've said before that I've found that I think I found that I need to do all of that. I'm not certain about that though. So logged in successfully. I can close this and then
Ken Stout Live said, will this work?
Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. I hoid you. See, now we got all those. So then I'll put it back over on monitor 3. Wow.
DDT 2005 said, hello, Josh.
Well, now it's 20 minutes into the show and I'm ready to actually get to the meat.
Yes, affirmative.
John Williams said good morning.
So yesterday, in talking about the BIOS updates, I have completed the
LJ said
BIOS
test.
update. And yesterday I told you about
Ken Stout Live said
completing
Alex
that.
will bill you.
And but some of the things that it came up
Frosty
to a
Winnipeg
controversy.
said hello from the peg.
as to whether I really use the right way or the best way to do it. And I
Zivvy Manor said, clock start now.
had some complaint from me about how the user manual was. So I spent some time with that yesterday, gained some clarification, picked up some corrective advice to myself. Now, the reason why I did the BIOS update the way that I did is because that's the way the BIOS and firmware update screen led me through. And my conclusion after going through all this was the best right way to do it. There was some conversation through chat yesterday that I should have done it a different way, but I don't think that's the case. So follow me on this reasoning before you get all excited and thinking that Doug is wrong again. I think I'm right on about this. See if you concur with me once we get through this. Now, really, the reason I'm going through this, not to justify that I did it right, but to point out a better way to go to utilize the manuals than what I was using yesterday. Now, where is the mail? Okay, so here's the. I said that when I would do a Google search for my motherboard, I was getting the wrong one. Whoops, that didn't work. And so I'll start with demonstrating that. In that, when I was trying to find the correct manual, which would be, what do we got going? I'm seeing glitchiness. Render frames drive, drop frame 0. That looks okay, but it seems herky-jerky as I move around. So I'll go grab again the name of this board. If I don't get the manual and the drivers for the Encore version, then it's just wrong. And I've said before that when I try to find that,
Houston, we have a problem.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go through. Now I have some drop frames, buffering. I don't want to go through all this if it's not working. Here's Extreme Encore. That one looks like the right manual. Extreme Encore, and then manual in document. Yeah, I'm not going to pursue this if we're not getting a good show here. 0.5%. I'll show you the OBS after covering it with StreamerBot. Down here is showing me 0.5%. So maybe we're back to okay. Let's see, that says live. None of these are showing in red. Drop frames is at 215 and it's not increasing. So I think maybe we're okay. We just had a little bit of a scare there. Yeah, it's scary. So then I go into this Extreme Encore. Should I use German? Oh, there's English. And then just download just actually opens it. And I got to click up here to download if I really want to download it, because I haven't really downloaded it yet. And what happened yesterday is I did a search for BIOS update. And that took me to this place. And when I clicked through here, I didn't find anything else about BIOS update. It's all in this second chapter. And then somebody showed the place in the third chapter that deals with BIOS update and has other options. So I went back and reviewed that closer and see how would I have been able to go at this better. So for one thing is, and I don't always do this, is look at the table of contents and understand it at a high level. This chapter is about product information. This chapter is about basic installation. This chapter is specifically BIOS setup. Well, this BIOS setup section has way down here at 3.11, it's the second to the end of the whole manual regarding updating BIOS. In chapter 2, which is the instructions that I used, was BIOS update utility here. And when I click on this 2-17, it takes me straight to that page. And then come up here, and this is where it was BIOS flashback. And I also was a little bit hesitant about the term flashback because that sounds like an emergency recovery thing. Would this really be the first way to go? One of the things that was pointed out yesterday was down here. For more BIOS update utilities in BIOS setup, refer to the section Updating BIOS in Chapter 3. And then down here, there's some warnings. Do not unplug portable disk or press the clear CMOS button while BIOS update is going on. In case of interruption, please follow the steps again. If the light flashes for 5 seconds, turns into solid light, which I did have on the first occasion, because the first occasion I was using the BIOS for the non-Encore motherboard. This may be caused by improper installation, file name format error. When this scenario happens, please restart the system and turn off the light. Updating BIOS may have risks if the BIOS program is damaged during the process and results to the system's failure to boot up. Please contact your local ASUS service center. So this is the procedure that I used. Shut the computer down, plug in the USB that has that file on the root of the USB drive. You can actually plug that in before shutting down. With the computer powered off, press this BIOS flashback button for 3 seconds. And that's the procedure, with the computer powered off. Remember that, because we're going to come to something different. Now, if we go back up to contents and go to this updating BIOS section 3-28, otherwise it was offered in chat as 3.11, so those are both the same thing. 3.11, scroll up to see if we've really got the top of it, because, yeah, click on that, it doesn't go to the top of that section. 3.11, and this stuff up here was something completely unrelated. Updating BIOS. The ASUS website publishes the latest BIOS versions to provide enhancements. Let's zoom in a little bit more. On system stability, compatibility, and performance. However, BIOS updating is potentially risky if there is no problem using the current version of BIOS. Do not manually update the BIOS. I think the first time I read through that, it implied to me that these instructions here is manually updating the BIOS. I don't think so. I think actually what they're saying here, if your computer's not broken, don't fix it. Now, in the world of custom computer builders, and of course people that watch Kerry Holzman's show, I agree with update the BIOS, get the most recent version of BIOS. I think the reason why they have these instructions in here is to dissuade the more casual, more novice user from updating their BIOS unless they really know there's a reason to do it. But I think all of these methods are manual methods. None of them are automated. They all involve you doing things, downloading the update file and going through some kind of procedure. In chat yesterday, the conversation was that the method I used was option 3 in this list, and no, it was not. At first glance, it's easy to think that it was, but no. All 3 of these are different than what I did, and these were optional or alternate, other ways to update the BIOS. But they're saying, if there's no problem with the current version, do not manually update the BIOS. I think in this community, we can probably agree, yeah, let's get more current than what the motherboard came with anyway. Inappropriate BIOS updating may result to the system's failure to boot. Carefully follow instructions in this chapter to update your BIOS when necessary. I do not like that they didn't point in this paragraph to chapter number 2, because my ending conclusion is I think that the one in chapter 2 is the way I'd rather do it. The following utilities allow you to manage and update the motherboard BIOS setup. Easy Update updates the BIOS in Windows environment. ASUS Easy Flash 3 updates the BIOS using a USB flash drive. ASUS Crash-Free BIOS 3 restores the BIOS using motherboard support USB drive when the BIOS file fails or gets corrupted. At first glance, that sounds like the one that I used from chapter 2. No, it is not. Easy Update. The Easy Update is a utility that allows you to update the motherboard in BIOS Windows environment. Easy Update requires internet. This utility is available in the support USB drive that comes with the motherboard package. I haven't seen that this is downloadable anywhere. It might be. I have not done an extensive search for it. I have not even looked in the motherboard box to see if it has that USB support drive. They get no links in here where to download that, no suggestion. They're saying it's available on the support USB drive that comes with the motherboard to use this method. This is 3.11.1, so this is the first of those three. 3.11.2, Asus Easy Flash 3. Easy Flash 3 allows you to download and update the latest BIOS through internet without having to use a boot floppy disk or an operating system based utility, which the option in chapter 2 was a floppy disk. How about that? They're saying without having to use a bootable floppy disk. Okay, so this thing isn't really updated very well, right? Copy and paste anyone? Or an operating system based utility. Updating through the internet varies per region. Internet connections. Check your local internet connection before updating through the internet. Hello, Comcast. My manual says I should check with you before trying to update my BIOS through my internet connection. Am I allowed to do that through my internet connection with you, Comcast? Really?
Ken Stout Live said to stop the ghettos of the tech world?
To update the BIOS by USB, enter the advanced mode of the BIOS setup. So you're doing this in BIOS. And that's a way that we've seen Carrie Holzman do many, many times over. And I think that's probably a way that many of you watching would probably prefer to do and be more comfortable doing because it's more common. I think it's more common that any custom motherboard is going to have this capability these days. And so go to the tool menu, select Asus Easy Flash 3 Utility. Insert the USB flash disk that contains the latest BIOS to the USB port. Of course, they're not specifically telling you there to go download it. When you go to their website and download it, the instructions there tell you to use that rename utility. There were not any instructions in that BIOS download page telling you to use the method from chapter 2 using the button on the back. They don't give any instructions how to do it. And that's why I went to the manual and searched for BIOS update. Now, if I would have searched for updating BIOS, that would have taken me to chapter 3. Select via storage. So once you're doing that in BIOS, you can choose via storage or via internet. Now, did this first one up here, let's see, where was it? Yeah, 3.11. This was through the internet, requires an internet easy update. This was using the utility on that USB support thumb drive. This option 2 is called updating the BIOS by USB, but you can also do by internet there. Plus up and down arrows to find the USB flash disk that contains the BIOS. Tab to switch to the folder info field. Press up and down keys. Now, amazing to me. With the level of detail instructions they give and then high level instructions, they want to be sure you know it. Use the up and down arrow key to find the BIOS. Like somebody who gets to this level wouldn't not know to use up and down arrow keys. Reboot the system when the update process is complete.
John Williams said some motherboards will allow you to update BIOS without a CPU.
And this one would be that. With that button on the back, you wouldn't need a CPU. You need a CPU to get into the BIOS setup program. But that button on the back that I used would be able to do this without a CPU. This function can support devices such as USB flash disk. Do not shut down, reset, ensure load. Okay, then here, update the BIOS by internet. We're still in 3.11.2, right? We didn't get any new number here. So here they're showing doing it with the Easy Flash utility, which is this Easy Flash 3. So that is a utility built into the BIOS setup program, telling you how to press arrow keys to maneuver, reboot the system. Now we get to 3.11.3, which I'm saying is not the method that I use. This is different. So another method entirely. This one you would need a CPU. The Asus Crash-Free BIOS 3 utility is an auto recovery tool that allows you to restore the BIOS file when it fails or gets corrupted during the updating
LJ
process.
said, when will you play Fortnite again, Doug?
I don't think I'll be playing Fortnite again, Alice. I just canceled my monthly payment to them for the extra skins and such. I'm being more productive without taking that time. I had to restore when it gets corrupted during the updating process. Now that method in chapter 2 with the button on the back, I think would also accomplish the same thing because it's not dependent upon a functional BIOS. You can restore a corrupted BIOS. This is meaning your computer will not post using the motherboard support USB drive that contains the BIOS file. The BIOS file in the motherboard support USB drive. So this is using the drive that came with the motherboard box. I don't think this is downloadable as far as I can tell. It doesn't say that it's downloadable here. This is not the method I used. I did not use the USB drive that came in the motherboard box. Did not use this motherboard support feature other than the BIOS file published on the ASUS website. Maybe older than the BIOS file published. If you want to use the newer BIOS file, download the file and save it to a USB flash drive. It doesn't say you have to save it to the support drive. Recovering the BIOS. To recover the BIOS, turn on the system. The method I'd used did not start with turning on the system. You would use this method if your BIOS is corrupted. It will not post. It will not get into the BIOS setup program. It will not launch an operating system. Turn on the computer. Insert the motherboard support USB drive or the USB flash drive containing the BIOS file to the USB port. Now, this is a little different than the impression I got yesterday. Yesterday, I thought you would have to have that support USB drive. This is making me think that you could do it just with a USB drive that contains the BIOS file, which seems odd to me, but let's look at this. The utility. So you have to have that utility, which comes on the support. Hang on a moment. If you just download the BIOS update file, the current BIOS, to the USB drive, it's not going to have that utility that I can see. Checks the devices. The utility automatically checks the devices for the BIOS file. It also doesn't say you have to put it into that BIOS labeled USB port, implying you could do it on any port. When found, the utility, because here it's saying it checks as all the devices, apparently, I'm the way I'm reading it. When found, the utility reads the BIOS file and enters the ASUS Easy Flash automatically. So enters the ASUS Easy Flash automatically, this. So I'm thinking that that support USB drive has this USB flash on it as an application. Since you're doing this when you have a corrupted BIOS, your BIOS setup program will not run. The system requires you to enter the BIOS setup to recover the BIOS setting to ensure system compatibility and stability. We recommend that you press F5 to load default values. This sounds to me like they've kind of missed doing a step
John
here.
Williams said check Wintermute suggestion.
All right, I'll come to that in a moment. I'm close to finished with this section, I think. It looks to me like this would restore the BIOS to your BIOS chip on the motherboard. Then you could enter BIOS setup. The system requires, perhaps the end of this utility requires that you enter BIOS setup so that you can recover your BIOS settings to ensure compatibility and stability. They recommend pressing F5 to load BIOS default values. Do not shut down while the update is in progress. So that's the additional things that I learned. And now the other piece, I'm sorry, I'm going to do one more thing, is asus.com/support. The other learning for me was when going to find, if I have trouble with just a Google search taking me to the right place on a website, is go through the website and motherboard components support. Let's go to support, drivers and manuals. If I'm trying to get the drivers for this, and actually select the model, the appropriate model through here. Let's see, do I have anything? Yeah, no, I just pulled up my clipboard history. So insert ROG Rampage 6 Extreme Encore. So if I start typing in here, this should narrow it down. Oops, I didn't want to do that. This is a scroll. I can't type in what I want here. Product, motherboard, product series, Asus. ROG is the most specific in here rather than, I don't see the word prime anywhere on mine. So ROG is the closest to mine there. And then what I'm looking for now is the Rampage 6 Extreme. And there was an interesting thing here. Here's, okay, Rampage 3, Rampage 4, Rampage 5. Whoops, wait a minute. There is no Rampage 6. Oh my gosh, what do we do now? Do not freak out. I've seen this many times on different manufacturers' sites. Is go look for it listed in some other alphabetical fashion. So how about ROG Rampage? Come down here to ROG, then Rampage, and then do we get Rampage 6 Extreme Encore? Yes, Extreme is a different motherboard. The I/O panel is different. The BIOS is different. There may be other different things. I don't know, but those are the things that I know are different so far. So then you get to, over here, Rampage 6 Extreme Encore driver and utility. So I would rather have been able to do a Google search to get straight to it. It seems now that Google search is working for me for that, perhaps because I've gone to this page before. All right, now I'll get back to chat. And you were wanting me to see, I gotta refresh this. Check Wintermute suggestion. Easy update comes with AI Suite 3. Download link for it at Rampage Extreme Encore. Download page under Utility Show more downloads. Yeah, that's exactly, I didn't go poking around for that. It would have been nice if the manual gave guidance to that you could download it, because the only thing the manual alluded to is by using that USB thumb drive. And if you didn't get your computer from Kerry Holzman, then you can't count on all of that being in your motherboard box, right? But I haven't looked. And it occurs to me that, see, Kerry built this computer over time without it being destined to anybody. Did he do the same collection of stuff in the motherboard box that he does for his normal commercial clients? I'm guessing yes, but I haven't looked. Okay, I think I've covered everything I need. Oh, and he gave us the link here, I think, to that AI Suite 3. LAN, wireless, chipset, audio, Bluetooth, utilities, WinRAR, Armor.
Jim KJ3N said, I bet if you had just searched for Encore, it would have been faster.
Actually, I've done that in the past. I have searched for this whole thing, this whole name with Encore, and I have many times gotten to a page that was just the 6 Extreme without Encore. I think I already did it today. It looks like it is working for me now. Now let's see, what did I miss here? That link, easy update comes with the AI Suite 3. Control F, SUITE, AI Suite 3. This is the same page that I've been to. I'm not seeing it. Is that why you intended to give me this link? AI Suite 3. Driver and tools to be the place that ought to be. Please select OS. Well, that's just going to get me to the BIOS. Today it was the Encore. And I'm wondering I was wondering if the reason why I was having trouble searching Extreme Encore, maybe because that version of the motherboard isn't sold anymore, or maybe it was only a short period of time. And was that a more expensive board at the time? Encore sounds like we're finished building the Extreme board. Now here's the next level up. I got no idea. And I'm not going to go search it. If you want to, that's fine. Why am I not seeing? See all downloads. Not show more. Sorry. See all downloads. Downloads up here. See all downloads. Not show more. Oh, I think I know what he meant. Here, see all downloads. I looked through these to see what the older BIOSes were, to see what the one I was. And that's when I realized the original link that I was working from that was provided in chat was not correct because I couldn't find my current version of BIOS. It was a different numbering scheme entirely.
John Williams said, are you going to have a live show tomorrow?
Probably.
Israel said this board is based on a workstation-grade chipset. Doesn't appeal to most consumers.
I'm about to see all downloads here in this sec. There it is. No, ME update. No, that's management engine update. I'm still not finding it. Winter Mute, can I give you remote control of my computer and you just do the clicking? Just kidding. This is kind of hard for me to read. See all downloads, not show more. I'm still not getting the right place. The button under each section labeled see all downloads. Yeah, isn't that what I did? Yeah, it is what I did. And he said it was going to be an AI suite. It's in the utilities section. There's only 2 sections showing here. Let's
Ken
collapse.
Stout Live said, Alex just said, Doug, I will.
I couldn't really hear that. Let's see. Alex just said, Doug, I will. I got no idea what you're referring to again, as usual. He's responding to something that I just said, and he assumes I know what he's referencing. Jeez. I'm still not seeing it in the utility section. There's no utility section. There's a BIOS section, and there's an Intel ME section.
Ken Stout Live said remote into your computer.
Oh, that's what he's referring to. Alex said he will remote into my computer. See, how would you think that I knew that that's what you were joking at? Boy doesn't think. I'm still not seeing it. Winter Mute. Click driver and tools at top.
Zvi Manor said drivers under utilities.
Drivers and tools.
Ken Stout Live said you just said it?
Drivers under
DDT
utilities.
2005 said try drivers and tools.
Okay, then it looks like I have to select operating system.
Ran Israel said you're in BIOS and firmware, switch to driver and tools.
All of those speaker bots are coming through after I'm already there. Each of these sections has see all downloads. Okay. I did select Windows 11. That came through after I was here. Boy, how much of a latency do we have? Are you guys on live? Do you have that red light, orange
Ken
light?
Stout Live said here is a thought try driver and tools.
I'm in driver and tools. This is all coming in too late.
Zvi Manor said utilities.
All right, come down in here, utilities. Then see all downloads. There it is. AI Suite 3. AI Suite 3 install program. There it is. ASUS Easy Update. Wow. Could not the manual give some kind of pointer this direction? Really? All these, oh man. Now I'm sure people those of you who are self-identify as builders, we're completely comfortable at finding that. And I'm not a builder, you all know that. Yikes, caramba. So there's another learning for me. Are you one of those people that hate it when people say What learnings did we have today? All right, I think I'm done. I'm still thinking that chapter 2 technique that I use would be my preference. All right, I will catch
Ken
up
Stout
with
Live
chat.
said Doug is thinking, if I had a hammer, would I
afterwards.
be a builder?
No comment. Jiminy Christmas. All right, so yeah, July 4th, tomorrow. I probably will do a show. I have no particular plans for tomorrow's. See, these people think they're getting ahead of me here. I'm letting their Victor go through, and now they won't be able to thwart my end screens. You can click here to see how to get free support on this YouTube channel. You can click here to see how to get paid support from me directly, privately, for a fee. And you can click on this video to see how to turbocharge your troubleshooting experience by watching videos on this channel. And this video is a video that YouTube thinks would be good for you to watch next. Have a great day. Catch you later. Happy 4th of July.